Hey guys, it's day 98 and it's almost 100 days since I have created the channel. Today I'm going to sum it up about my learning method. Before getting into that, then learning method is basically one of the most important thing to everything that we should be aware of for any one of us, for us to improve ourselves, to learn new things, to adapt to new environments. Learning is the most important thing and is the key, the one of the main strong points of being a human. Okay, um, learning is also the key to differentiate between normal between good students and normal students, and it can indeed just close up the gaps between normal people and talented people, or maybe even the whole talented. Nah, talent still exists, but whatever. Let's just get into my learning. I'm gonna talk about how I view learning and different learning methods that I can remember to even talk about in this video. There are lots of stages in learning. For me personally, then the first thing that I would do is to find a thing that is worth learning, that's worth my time. I will find a thing that's suitable to my goal, a kind of knowledge, and then I'm gonna find, first of all, find the materials for that. Maybe find the course online, find a book, find a mentor, find a extra class, anything. Just find suitable materials. Of course, I should have mentioned that we should set out a clear goal for ourselves to reach something in a normal intermediate mastery or a deep mastery of something. For me, I'm learning calculus 2 and 3 this summer. Then find the materials, suitable materials. Just from this, we should have a proper technique to first set out our goals, and second, be able to differentiate between normal materials and good materials. That's really important. Also, to be able to detect good mentors from the bad one too. The third thing is to give our plan. Give me a timeline. Just to set a small goal for myself to complete every month, maybe several months or in a few weeks. And I'm just gonna learn something. Learning involve reading to grasp information. It's also involve vision. It's involve taking down notes, and it's also involve practical problems. The first thing first is to read the materials, to learn from the materials and understand the problem that we are learning, the concepts that we are learning. Then remember the key area, remember all of the key words, the rules, the formula of the subjects that we're studying about. Even the terminology of the thing that we're studying. So we have sufficiently remember of, oh yeah, in this in this step that's involved in memory, I usually use visualization for objects that exist in the world. For physics, for chemistry, I try to imagine the process down, and for mathematics, uh, I just have a whole map of mathematics on its own, and I just imagine some of the knowledge that I learned is from this key or this branch of the map. So it's basically the foundation math here and it's divided into geometry, algebraic, and some other thing that I don't know in English name. It's gonna diverge down onto that because math can't really be visualized. It still can be, but I'm just gonna put on some minor visualization of that. It's also into my tree branches, maybe it's like what is this notes, tree mapping, notes, mind mapping. I don't know. Okay, that's how I use. I have tried memory palace before, but that didn't really work out well for me. I definitely use spaced repetition. Whenever I learn something, I will be obsessed with it. Not really obsessed, but I will try my best to remember that. I will try to memorize the thing that I've learned. A few hours later, I would try to uh, revise that. We go through them again and search for the thing that I couldn't remember. Then a day later, I would review them again. 2 days later, review them again. Then 3 days, and 4 days, then 7 days, or 7 days. 2 weeks later, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, half a year. It depends on how long I want to remember that kind of knowledge. That's how I remember rule for a long time. Then the next step after we sufficiently remember the thing that we learn, we use that for practice. So I don't try to remember. I try to remember everything, then just go on and practice. Do practice problem, try to solve problem, or try to apply our knowledge into a real world problem or phenomenon or situation. Basically applying theoretical concepts into real world. And whenever I'm stuck at something, or whenever I have some kind of question that I couldn't answer, I'm gonna go back to the material, or maybe I could search online to Google or the websites. This also serve as part of the spaced repetition, so I could do problems and also revise the thing that I'm currently learning. Oh, I also kind of forgot that in the reading stage, in the learning and reading stage, I I do apply several learn focus method. I do have a time. I do put an alarm clock for my learning, so I will just put on the time and just don't care about anything else except for my studies. I'm very focused in my study. I don't do anything that distracts me. In reading, I try to keep a good pace of around 350 to 400 words per minute. It depends on the complexity of the book or the material that I'm learning. I will try to skim through the whole chapter that I want to learn, maybe the whole book first, then have a basic understanding of what I'm going to learn, what I will learn from the materials. Then I'm just gonna read everything in detail and just try to read it with proper technique, grasp key concepts, keywords, don't lose over the detail, don't gloss over the detail, but don't place too much importance to them anyway. Basically, a bunch of technique involving in that. Yeah, basically that memory, putting that into applications, and then after I have solved basically lots of problem, I will put that aside. Then a week later, a month later, I will try to solve problems again. I will try to apply those knowledge into real world again to test if I am able to utilize them. Depends on how fast I want to retrieve the information. I want to retrieve the formula that I've learned, or the understanding or the theory that I've learned. The more would I repeat and more would I do apply space repetition of them, and the more problem that I would solve. So talking in neuroscience term, then it was just to strengthen the myelinated coat on my neurons on that pathway that's related to my learning. But just in simple terms, it's just gonna be to make me able to retrieve the information faster. For example, when I first learn something, it may take me several seconds to just be able to summon the thing that I've learned. But maybe after lots of practice, that I could just recite that in less, react to the question and recite that in less than a second. I mean, less than half a second, something like that. Basically, when we solve, for example, if we solve math problem for a long enough time, then the formula is just gonna pop into our head really instantaneously. It's just really fast whenever we do some easy problem. Yeah, yeah. Whenever I translate the situation to something new, I would try to read tips online and guides, materials. I would read review for them. Problem is, yeah, problems is the ability to apply that into real world is also heavily related to our ability to determine good material to learn from. Yeah, that's basically it. Maybe I can try to discuss with friends or try to teach that to some like 5 to 7 years old. But I mostly do that in my mind already. I already do that every time I recite the memories or the knowledge that I've learned. Uh, and I try to simplify the concept, so I don't really think I need to simplify that till 5, 10 years old. Yeah, that's basically my learning method. I kind of go overboard there with a 12 minutes video. But well, it's worth it anyway. I want to reflect on that. That's it for day 98. See you all in day 99. Damn. Oh.